Hello, this is the second part or the second type of question when we look at arithmetic progressions or AP. Remember, we've got the standard formula which reads Tn equals A plus D in brackets n minus 1. We will always work with this equation, and that is why you must just simply know this equation. So if we look at this example, they ask which term in the sequence 14, 8, 2, negative 4, and so forth is equal to negative 28. Alright? So remember, if I would go on here, they're asking at which place would negative 28 stand. Alright? So negative 28 is really a term. Okay, and they ask you at which place, all right, although that is expressed as which term. So once again, we're going to identify the given information, all right. They are asking us about negative 28, so Tn is negative 28. Then A, we already got, it is 14, so put your 14 next to A. Then the common difference, it is not yet given, but remember we can calculate that by taking one term and subtracting the previous term. So we will have 8 minus 14, which in fact gives me negative 6. Or I could simply use negative 4 and subtract the previous term, which is 2 in this case, and that gives me also a common difference of 6. All right, and then remember we already said that they're asking us a position, at which place or in which position. So n is being asked. Now once again we have identified all 4 variables that come from the equation. So we start, write down your equation in brackets open n minus 1. Then we will just simply substitute what we have already identified. So in the place of Tn, we will write negative 28. We will replace A with 14. We will replace D with negative 6. N will remain the variable because that is the one that is being asked, and that in fact is the one that you will have to calculate. Okay, so we need to find n. All right. So if we now look at that, we've got a linear equation with one variable. So here we are just going to apply algebra. So first we must calculate the bracket. Okay, and now be careful. It is negative 6 times n, which becomes negative 6n. And then negative 6 times negative 1, which becomes positive 6. All right? And now we can see that we can collect like terms. So on the left we have negative 28. 14 plus 6 is 20 minus 6n. And still remember, we want to find the place, the value of n, the position of negative 28, which means we are now going to apply the golden rule, which we apply in equations, which is the opposite operation. Goro is o. If you don't know that, please watch the videos on linear equations. All right. The 20 is positive on this side, so we will subtract it on that side. So negative 28 minus 20 gives me negative 48 equals, don't forget there is a negative 6n. All right, now we still want to find n, which means we must now move the negative 6. Importantly, people, this is not a subtraction. This is a negative integer. The operation on this side is multiplication. Therefore, we will divide by -6 on the left-hand side. And -48 divided by -6 gives me an answer of 8. On the right-hand side, we've moved the -6, is n. So what does it tell me? If I would go on, okay, actually getting the next terms, the next terms, the next term, the -28 would stand in the 8th position. That is what that answer tells me. All right, so let's again go through. They're asking you which term would be -28, right? So the term that is asked is -28. We've got the first term, which is 14. We can calculate the common difference, okay, which we already done, which is -6. And the question here, which term, people, refers to the position. So they're asking you, what is n? Then you start with your standard formula for arithmetic progressions or sequences. You substitute the values at the right place. You then simply calculate. You do goros or until you find a value for n. And this n gives you the position. So at the 8th position, we would find the number -28.